Welcome back to Prison Yard TV. Another episode of Penitentiary Games. This is episode 5. And I just had to look at my notes. I got numerous stories for y'all. So I gotta finish this story about the dude that moved next door to me, man. And so the guy that moved next door, never been to prison before. Let me first back up. I want y'all to hit that like button, man. These nuts, what's going on, homie? And I know you already subscribed, these nuts, but if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscription button. It's really helping my channel when you do hit that, and definitely hit that notification button. It'll notify you on my next video. So I think I'm doing 2 to 3 videos today because as you see these notebooks right here, all these notebooks, I got 5 sitting right here. All of them is full of penitentiary games. I got 5 notebooks full of the games people play in prison and how detrimental and how some of them could become deadly, and they have become deadly up under my watch. I'm not going to get into details about those situations. I will give you the story behind them, but I'm not going to give you the details on the significance it had in different people's families, because people have died by playing games in the penitentiary. You better believe in California, somebody is dying every day in California prison system. You don't always hear about it, but believe me, someone is dying every day in the California Department of Corrections. And it's sad, man, because some of these things could be avoided if it wasn't for manipulation. So let me finish about the cat that moved next door to me, and I showed him a phone, and he's never seen one. And as you heard on my last episode, he told me, I think my memory, sometimes I might be off by a date or an amount of money I'm talking about, or a time, or even a yard. Sometimes my memory, I'm out here on the free world, so I'm not keen. I left there in 2018. Yellow Mushroom, what's happening, man? I'm not really keen in thinking about the dates and times and amounts of money, so I might be off a little bit. I've been getting a lot of comments about, phones weren't this much. Phones at one time when I was in prison, I paid $5,000 for a phone one time at New Folsom. And of course, once you buy a phone in prison, you're going to try to make money with it, make your money back you spend on it. But phones on level 4 180 yards are very expensive. I've never seen them less than $4,000 on a level 4 yard, 180 yard, that is. There's a difference between a 270 and 180 yard. So let me get along with this story. Like I said, some of the things might not be exact. I'm giving it to you as I remember them. So keep that in mind, y'all. I'm not always on like very precise with everything. So some of the things that I tell you, I might be off by a day or two, or if I was on A yard, I might have meant B yard, or if I say 3,000, it could have been 3,500. So this is my recollection of the events that took place. So this cat moved next door to me, and I noticed that he went to visits. I noticed that he was going to Canteen, a Cadillac every month. So I knew he had bread. I figured out he was a dope boy on the street. He was a dope boy. So I needed a phone. Now I lost my phone. So I showed him a phone. I told him how much it was. I told him we could go half on it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, phones, I think, were anywhere between 2,500 to 4,000. Whatever the price was, I told him a lot more than what they was. So I would only have to come out of pocket nothing or like less than half, right? So of course he called his girl. He got the green dots in his hand. So what I do is I give old boy the phone back that I had it from that night. And I talked to him because he had all the phones for sale. and he was giving me a deal. So I took old boy's green dots. I think I added a 500 or 1,000 to it, and I got the phone. And this is where games come into effect. And I had reasons for this. So we were switching the phone. One night he would get it, one night I would get it. One night he'd get it, one night I'd get it. And this went on for a couple months. Now, mind you, he paid for most of this phone. And one day, it's my day to have a phone. I'm in the cell, and I'm on the phone, and I get into it. I get into it with my girl, the girl that I was seeing at the time, and we get into a heated ass argument. And my motto was, when you're in prison, if you ever get into it with your girl, you never go to sleep and let them hours go by until the morning time, because Sancho is only a phone call away, and you don't want that to happen, because you doing time. Sancho comes in and taps that ass for a minute, and then next thing you know, you lose your girl. And she was someone that I had met in prison, and she was doing everything for me. She was handling all my money that I was making in there. She was doing a lot for me. She was paying my phone bills. She was doing everything I told her to do. So I didn't want that to happen. And we got into it. It was my night. It was my night of the phone. So the next day comes, and I'm supposed to hand him off the phone when I go down and get in the shower. On the way back, I usually put it in the manila envelope or a towel and slide it up under his door. Then he gets it. Then he does the same thing. So this day, I got into it with my girl. And of course, I don't want to give him the phone. So I go take my shower, go wash up and shit. I'm kind of in a hurry because I want to get back and get on the phone with my girl. So I'm walking by his. Now, mind you, my cell was one door or two doors away from the shower. So his cell was in the opposite direction. So after I get in the shower, I just walk by my door and then walk by his door and walk down to the end of the tier and slide it to him and come back. So what I do when I get out of the shower is I go up the staircase. Bam. I come down the staircase on this side. That way I can just walk by his door and then go to my door. And I wanted him to see that I wasn't going to give him the phone. And I didn't want to stop and talk to him and explain to him that, I got into him with my girl and I need the phone another night. I just ignored him when I walked by, and I had the phone tucked right here, right? So I go back to my cell, I lotion up and shit. I get back on the phone, I'm talking to my girl. We're arguing still, and we're hashing out whatever we had hashed out. But this goes on for a few hours. So at this time, it's lockdown time. Day room's over. It's lockdown time. So the next morning, I told you guys I don't go to breakfast. I never go to breakfast in prison. It's just nasty ass shit. I don't eat. I try to stay away from all prison food if I can. And once I start getting my shit together in there, I stop going to chow, except on chicken on the bone days. That's the only day I went to chow is chicken on the bone, and that's only maybe twice a month. And the only days you'll find me in the chow hall. So anyway, I keep the phone. Next day comes, I go out, take my shower, and he's out taking his shower. And he's like, "What's up, dog, man? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Man, I'll holler at you later." Of course, I walk back to my cell, lock the door, bam, get back on the phone. Now, me and baby is really going at it now. So I keep the phone 2 days in a row. On the third day, he shoots me down a wheeler. A wheeler is a kite. You guys don't know what a kite is. I suggest you don't go to prison and find out what a kite is. It's a note. That's what we call them in prison, either wheelers or kites. And he shoots me down a kite, and basically is very aggressive in the kite. Man, what's going on, man? You ain't said nothing to me in 2 days. You keep walking by my door. Man, I need that today, bro. And the way he said it with capital letters and explanation points, I felt like he was really trying to push the issue of trying to get this phone. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you're in prison and you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys are going at it in prison, it makes you change your demeanor towards everyone around you. If you fighting with your girl on the street, it's a little bit different. But when you holding on to something in prison and that's all you have, and that's your eyes and ears and legs on the street, you're trying to make that as smooth as possible. And when that's not smooth and it's rocky, then everything else around you is rocky. And that's what was going on with me at this time. So I don't even respond to the kite. So I figure, it's been probably 5 or 6 days since I've been to yard. So on the third day that I have this phone, I tuck the phone in the spot in the TV, and I head out to yard. So I go out to yard, and now this cat, he was kind of cool with a couple of my homies. He wasn't an NC, he wasn't an NC crib, he wasn't no crib or nothing, but he was cool with a couple of the fellas. And I don't know what he had going on with him, but I seen him over there talking to a couple of the fellas, like my little homeboys, right? So they come and get at me on the yard. I'm over there playing pinochle on the yard, and they come over there, and both of them come over there, and they're like, "Hey, dog, let's take a lap. We need to holler at you." So I'm like, "All right, when I'm done," they're like, "Nah, this is kind of important." Like, what? What you mean this kind of important? You see, I'm gambling. I'm playing pinochle on the yard. So after the hand, I tell someone to sit in for me. I go spin a lap. And these cats is like basically saying, what's up with old boy? Yellow mushroom. All right, homie. So they're basically telling me old boy came to them and told them why told them that I had the phone. Now mind you, when you have a phone in prison, and even if you close to somebody, you try to keep everyone out your business, because people do tell in prison. And I'm not saying that I was scared my homies was gonna tell, but when they find out you have a phone, they want to use the phone. And of course they're in another building. So I'm not gonna shoot this phone to another building and get it caught up. I learned my lesson about that when I first started my sentence. So they asking me, man, what's up with that phone? I'm like, what phone? I'm denying everything, because once I open that door and admit that I got a phone, then I'm basically admitting that me and this cat, whatever he told him, I'm admitting what he told him is true. And I'm denying what are you talking about? Come on. They was like, come on, dog. Come on, man. Old boy told me you guys got a phone together and you locked up on the phone. You ain't shooting him his phone time. I'm denying everything. Now, one of these cats, I was pretty close to on the street. We're about to. He's a little bit younger than me, but he's from my neighborhood, and I basically grew up with this cat, and he knows me real well. So after I go back to playing Pinochle, after we have this conversation, I nipped it in the butt. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, and they know not to keep questioning me, that I wasn't going to give an inch. So I went back and played Pinochle. After I got done with Pinochle, I'm catching the next unlock to go in. The homeboy that I grew up with, he comes up, he's like, man, dog. He's smiling and shit. He's like, man, you're good, homie. He said, what you gonna do about old boy? And I'm like, who's old boy? And he points his finger. Old boy's just over there looking at me. He don't know what to do. Because, when it comes to business like this, you don't go outside to the person's car you're doing business with and expose the hand. You just don't do that in prison. He was fresh to the pen, so he really didn't know the rules and regulations, and I was going to use that against him. So basically, once they came and told me, that old boy came and told him that, he ain't getting this phone back. This is my phone now. I'm locking up on it. So it became an issue. Old boy came and hollered at me, and I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, man, dog, man, don't cause the car no problems. And the thing is, in prison, when you belong to an organization, Crip, Blood, whatever it may be, South Side or Northern or Whites, if you belong to an organization, The rule is you don't bring your personal business back to the organization to cause them to have to ride for you, have to staff for you, have to do anything for you. You don't bring your personal business to the organization. And I'm like, I use that. I'm like, man, whatever I have going on with anybody is my personal business. And that just shut the whole conversation down. So I go back to the cell. Now, I was thinking about letting him have it that night. But now that he went back and told my people, I'm locking up on this. For this is my phone now. So the next day comes. And the next day, I got 2 people from another building coming to my door. And they talking about get the door open so they can holler at me in the cell. So I immediately to get your door open in California prison system on level 4, you have to flag the officer up in the tower with a cardboard or a rag or something, let them know you want your door open. So I'm flagging, they open the door. They come in, they're like, man, hey dog, man, old boy's adamant about you having a phone, and you know, we don't be doing that. We don't want that on our name, man. Either you're gonna shoot old boy the phone, or you're gonna shoot him the money that he put into the phone so he could go get him another phone, man. We just ain't taking people's shit up in here. And now I'm hot, I'm fuming, but I don't expose that to the people that's in my cell, because I don't want them to know. I'm denying it. I don't even know what they talking about. I ain't got no phone in here. He's lying to y'all. And basically, I was making a mockery out of these 2 dudes because they knew I had the phone. And so what happened was, I told them both, man, this is the end of discussion. This is my personal business. Y'all taking this, y'all getting in my personal business right now. This has nothing to do with the organization. This has nothing to do with NC business. This is dog's business. And I'm gonna handle this business the way I can see fit to handle this business. By this time, me and my girls getting back kind of cool. And so what happens is, one of them leave the cell. The other one that I've been knowing a long time, he looks at me, I look at him, we're looking at each other. He's like, man, dog, you're good, man. So what are you gonna do, man? And I just explained it to him. I told him what had happened, what I just told you guys, right? He's like, man, yeah, but we just don't take phones. You know, you're gonna have to shoot him some money or something. So I said, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm just gonna shoot him his bread. I had the bread. And he's like, okay, you have 48 hours, you have 2 days to get him that bread. Wait a minute. Now you're taking this a little bit too far. You're kind of like threatening me. I have 2 days to give this cat his money or the phone. So now I'm thinking to myself, am I going to give this cat this money, or am I going to give him this phone back and go get my other phone? Because I can go buy a phone for probably about the same price he paid for it, because I just bought one. The dude's going to give me a deal on a second phone I bought back to back like that, right? So I decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him his money back, right? However, it's going to be smoke and mirrors. So this is what happens. I have my girl go get him 4 $500 green dots. That's $2,000. I go get him 4 $500 green dots, and I got them in my hand now. This is the same day. This is night day room. And I tell the 2 cats that's in the building with me from NC, one name was Weeble. The one I couldn't remember his name is Weeble from North Highlands, and the other one's name was Sean D, and he was from 7 Trees, and they're in my building. So I go get them and I bring them to the cell. Before that, I tell my cellie, man, check it out. What I'm gonna do right now, what I need you to do is, I'm gonna leave this phone in the cell with you. When I leave out this cell, I need you to take these numbers and I need you to load them onto my card. See, what it is, you get green dot cards, and you can only buy up to $20 to $500 green dot reloadable cards. As soon as you scratch the numbers off of them, you could load them onto your personal Visa card, which my girl had on the street. And so what I did do, was I called Weeble from NC and Sean D over to my cell. And you could check the numbers on the phone. So if I call the number on the green dot card, it'll say this card has $500 on it. This card has $500 on it. This card, etc. So I had 4 of them. So I called Sean and Weeble over to the cell, and I'm like, bruh, what I need you to do is go give old boy these 4 $500 green dots. And they said exactly what I thought they was going to say. We need to check them first and make sure the money's on there, because we don't want to be we don't want to have no discretion that someone pulled the money off these cards. So I called the number on the phone right in front of them, put it on speakerphone, let them listen. This card has $500 on it. This card, the balance is $500. This card, so all 4 of them had a balance of $500. I already had written the number to each green dot card down on a piece of paper and left it on my desk for my cellie. As soon as I walked out the cell, he could load them onto my card. What I did was, as soon as we checked the green dots, we went out to day room. All 3 of us, we left my cellie in the cell with the phone. So I give them the 4 green dot cards. We go outside in the day room, and I'm out there playing cards. I give the green dot cards to Weeble to go give the old boy. By the time he hands them to the old boy, they're being loaded onto my card. He's dude's out in the day room. He's getting ready to get in the shower. So my cellie got 15, 20 minutes to load these cards. He only needs 2 minutes to load these cards. So he does. He loads the card. Sean already checked him in the cell. Now I'm out of the cell with Sean and Weeble the whole day room playing pinochle. My cellie done already took the money off the cards. He already gave the old boy. They verified that they checked the numbers before they handed them to him, and they co-signed that the $2,000 was there. Now, old boy gets his green dot cards. He ain't got no phone to go check them. A couple of days goes by. I'm laying in bed, and I'm on the thing. I'm texting on the thing. I got the curtain on the thing, and I hear an aggressive knock at my door. Boom, boom, boom. I looked out my door. It's 4 homies outside my door. It's 4 NC cats, 2 from another building. No, 3 from another building and 1 from my building, Weeble. And they told me to get my door open. So I flagged my door open. They all come in the cell. They're like, man, dog. And one of them, he had animosity towards me because we was in another prison together. And I kicked him out the cell. And I had a cell phone at the other prison. I kicked him out the cell, and he got mad because he had access to the phone. So he had animosity towards me. And he was the one doing all the talking. I'm not going to say his name. I'll just say where he's from. He was from Stockton. Matter of fact, I will say his name. His name is Little Wicked from Stockton, from 44 G's. So he was doing all the talking. Man, dog, you bringing heat to the car, man. We finna have to ride against this cat. Well, what do you mean ride against this cat, man? I don't know how, but you done pulled the money off the cards. You done checked the card. So Weeble already told him that he verified the money. There ain't no way dog could have took the money off. He was in the day room with us the whole time. So Weeble's there, and he's co-signing with me like there ain't no way dog did a dude's lying. And I'm telling him, man, bro, the 504 times was on them cards, man. When I gave it to him, he's lying to you. So, but now, see, the NC Corps, they don't have a choice but to ride with me, because I got a witness, him and my cellie and Sean D, saying that we checked the green dot cards, and I came out the cell and I didn't have the phone. I wasn't out there long enough to do it. The old boy should have went back and downloaded them right away. We don't know who he let see them cards. If he, you know what I mean? So they have to ride with me for it. Man, look, man. Old boy lasted on that yard, the new cat, he lasted on that yard another month, and he got smashed. He got smashed by some Bloods, because some Bloods he did the same thing and went half on a phone with the Bloods, and the Blood he got the phone took on his day, and the Bloods smashed him over that. They paid the same amount, so he had money, but just for his little cockiness, and yeah, I shouldn't have kept that phone for the second and third day like that. But he made me mad when he went to the folks, to the homies on the second day, and kind of told on me. So that kind of made me mad. So that's just one of the incidences. one of the games, how people play, and I learned how to play these games early on. And yes, was it a dangerous game? Hell yeah, it was a dangerous game. But I manipulated it in a way where I my people thought I was in the right, and I really wasn't. And so check this out. This is the next penitentiary games, man. This is behind some women. So I'm at Vacaville. I get to Vacaville, and I've been trying to get to Vacaville level 3 for a long time because it is the sweetest prison, and it's close to Sacramento, and it's wide open, and everything's there, and everything is plentiful there. I was there back in the 80s, and I kept hearing about it. Now, you can't have active Serenos and Norteños on his yard. The Serenos and Norteños just come there for medical, and they're out of there. If there is some there, they're no good. So that takes away a lot of the revenue, right? But I'm trying to get there because it's close to home. I can see my mom. I can see my girl real like every week. It's down the street from Sacramento. So I get to Vacaville. And when I get to Vacaville, my little homie, Little Dog, is there. Now, at the time, I don't know if you guys know what EOP is. If you don't know what EOP is, that's telling me you've never been to California prison system. EOP is extremely out of pocket. That's what we call it. But Department of Corrections, it's an outpatient program for mentally challenged people, and it's the highest degree of JCATness. And people play the role and play cuckoo, so they go to EOP for different reasons. Well, Little Dog had stabbed someone in the Arizona prison, and he beat the case going to EOP. When I get there, he's there. So me and Little Dog only last there 6 months together. I'm gonna put this in a nutshell because this is for another show. So me and Little Dog, we got it cracking at Vacaville. I get a whole bunch of phones in. My first time, I got 10 phones in, 20 cans of tobacco. We got a staff member bringing it to us. And it ain't a correctional officer either. I'm not going to expose that because he's still working there. He or she's still working there. So anyways, we get all this stuff and we got it cracking. Well, I was selling phones for $1,000 there. I was selling cans of tobacco for $500, and somebody didn't like that. So they told on me, a Little Dog, right? So we both go to the hole. I'm in the hole for maybe like 3 months under investigation. People drop 1081s or 1030s on me, which means that they're saying it's an enemy thing. So it's a sheet of paper that they sign saying they don't get along with me. And I had 3 or 4 of those dropped on me. Little Dog had 2 or 3 of those. So they're not going to let us back to the line. So they send me to Donovan, which is the farthest prison you could get from Sacramento. Donovan is on the Mexico, the Tijuana border. On the Tijuana border, San Diego and Tijuana is right next door to it. So while I'm in the hole, I meet a cat named Cash. Cash is from East Palo Alto. Me and Cash became cool because we traveled to Donovan together on a 4-day journey on the bus. We stopped at Chino and slept over. We stopped at San Quentin. We stopped at Chino, and we stopped at another prison. And so we was together on this bus for 3 or 4 days. Me and Cash became cool. We was going to the same yard, Donovan level 3 yard. So we get there and we put together a move. Me and him's there for like 3 months, and we're putting together a move. My girl that I was with way back just got out of prison for doing 10 years for me in Washington. She had got out when I'm getting to Donovan. She had got out of Washington State Prison, and she's already making her way back to Sacramento, right? And this is someone that just did 10 years for me for bank robbery. She robbed 4 banks for me. That's in my book, The Man Behind the Woman. So me and Cash get real cool. So Cash is married. Cash got a wife. And Cash also got a phone. But he's playing the EOP role, and there's 2 EOP buildings on the yard we go to. I'm in 5 buildings, he's in 1 building on the same yard. We don't congregate because EOPs and main lines don't congregate. He goes to the yard in the morning, EOP goes to the yard in the morning, I go to the yard in the afternoon and the evening time. But we're putting this play together. So he's sliding me the phone, I'm sliding it back, I'm calling my girl up down here in Sacramento. So I can finally talk her into getting on the plane and coming down there to San Diego. In the meantime, Cash is on one of them dating apps, and he busts abroad a chick from San Diego, a white chick. I'm gonna give her a nickname because I gotta put her name on her. Her name is Clack. A lot of people in San Diego, a lot of bloods in San Diego know this chick. That's her nickname, Clack. That's her real nickname. So he busts Clack, and they called her Click Clack. So he busts Clack. So Clack picks up my girl from the airport. Now we have them go shopping, and they go get 35 phones. I buy 30 phones. Cash, his girl, buys him 5 phones. We get all this tobacco, all this stuff. And what happens is 2 days before my girl's about to go drop the phones off, I don't want to get into the story how I got the phones in there. This is a manipulation story of how games is played and how dangerous they are. So right before we get the phones in there, my girl brings the phones up there, and she brings them to the outside ranch. There's an outside ranch level 1 on the outside of level 3. And basically there's no police in the 2 buildings. There's no police in the 2 buildings during the daytime. They only come by 2 or 3 times a day for count. So she got to come up there 2:30 in the morning and walk into the prison system, and he got to fish him up a fishing line, 2 backpacks, right? So while we're doing this, Cash goes to the hole for a knife. Okay, now when Cash goes to the hole, I get all the phones in. It takes me 2 days. I get all the phones in there. Now I got my 30 phones and Cash's 5 phones. And phones at this time up there was between $3,000 and $4,500 on this yard. There was only one other cat, maybe 2, that was getting 3 or 4 phones a week and selling them for the $3,500. At this time, I already had Cash's phone in the cell because he went to the hole and I got it in his celly. He slid me the phone. So I had his phone. So I'm manipulating the whole situation, and I got these phones in there, but Cash is in the hole for a knife. And I know when you go to the hole for a knife, you're in there from either between 6 months and 12 months for a knife. And sometimes they even ship you out. So my girl, Vanessa, the one that robbed the banks for me, she's down there in San Diego with Click Clack in her penthouse in downtown San Diego for like a week. And she's telling me, I'm talking to Click Clack and Vanessa every night on the phone. And so when she takes Vanessa to the airport to come back to Sacramento, I'm still talking to Click Clack on the phone every night. And Vanessa's telling me, man, this girl got money, dog. This girl, she's really doing her thing out here. She's got hella bread. And she's like, man, we need to get her. You need to get her on the team. So, I know Cash is married, but I also know he busted his broad. This is his girl, right? Now, Clack is starting to like me a lot. We FaceTiming all night long. Now I got all these phones. I'm making hella bread. I'm putting bread on green dots. I'm doing all type of shit, right? Putting them on. At this time, I think we was using PayPal. I accumulated over $200,000 while I was at Donovan. Clack's digging me. Now, Clack got some hookers, some call girls on her team that she knows real well. So I got Clack coming up there to the visiting room with 2 of her bras visiting 3 people in the institution, and they bringing me shit. They bringing me China White. China White in any prison. If you guys know what China White is, you can't get real China White nowhere in Sacramento, period. But she was on the border. They used to go over the border and they used to bring China White back. So I was sending 3 individuals out there with Clack and these 2 other cats that she was bringing these call girls to. But they go out there and Clack is coming in with a water bottle full of vodka, and they're getting drunk out there. They get caught up out in the business room. That's a whole nother story. But check this out. This is what happened. So I get Chrissy. Chrissy's on my team now. That's my girl. Now I'm still messing with Vanessa, but Chrissy, she's doing everything for me. And 6 months goes by. Now Chrissy's like my main girl now. She's my main broad. So I'm in the cell chilling. Now I'm living like a penitentiary king. I'm balling in prison. I got all this money on these green dots. I'm having people do stuff for me. I'm having people bring me food from the kitchen. I'm having people cook for me. I'm having people iron my shit. I done gave the homies Ryder from Watergate a phone. I done gave Raybone from Raymond a phone. I done gave like the homies that I'm really connected to, the homie G-Man just got there. I gave him a phone. I got all these phones and all this money, right? And I'm chilling. I'm on a single cell status at Donovan because I got into it with someone that 2 prisons before this in the cell. So they put me on single cell status. So I'm kicking back in the cell one day. EOP's out on the yard. And here comes one of the homies hitting my door. Hey, dog. Hey, Cash just got out the hole. I'm like, oh, is that right? Now, remember I told y'all that Cash had 5 phones and I had 30 phones? And I had Cash's regular phone. I still had that put up. But I only had Cash's phone, my 2 phones that I kept, and then 2 more phones. I only had 5 phones, period. I had 2 in the cell, no, 1 in the cell, which was mine. I had Cash's phone put up, and I had my backup phone put up somewhere else. And then I had 2 phones that I was going to give Cash or sell them and give Clack the money to put on his books, right? And I already gave Clack like $1,500 for him to put on his books because he already had invested $1,500 in some phones, right? So what I did was when I found out Cash was getting out the hole, I got my door open. And you know, on level 3 yards, it's easy to sneak out your building. You could just say you're going to the law library. So I go out on the yard, bam. I see Cash coming in the gate with his cart. And I walk up to him and I straight tell him. And mind you, why he was in the hole, I told Click Clack, man, keep writing this cat and go see him. He's in the hole. And she wouldn't do it. She was, I don't want to say she was in love with me, but she was digging old dog, man. I was really in that cell, FaceTiming her, doing what I do in the cell. You know what I mean? And I just got a mouthpiece about me. And so did Cash. So when Cash came through that gate, he's like, hey, dog, he said, what happened to the play? And the play is the phone thing. I said, man, I got the phones, man. I said, did you get that $1,500? He said, yeah, man, but that was from you. And I'm like, yeah, that was from me. I had Clack send it to you. He's like, what's up with Clack? She ain't wrote me back. I said, that's what I came out here to holler at you about, man. He's like, what's up? And I just told him, I said, Clack ain't no longer your girl, homie. That's my bitch now. He was like, what? I'm like, it just happened. Vanessa came down. He knew Vanessa. We used to talk on, I put him on the phone with Vanessa to take care of some business. So he knew my whole history with Vanessa, how she robbed banks for me. He like, is that right? And he gave me that. He said, that's what's up. He said, what's up with the 5 phones though? I said, look, man. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you $4,000 and I'm going to give you 2 phones. I already have sold all the phones. Matter of fact, I sold one to your homie in there, Mohammed. And Mohammed was a Muslim cat that Cash was real cool with in his building. And Mohammed came and told me that Cash was going to sell him a phone for $1,000. So I sold it to him. And that was part of the $1,500 I sent him. So he's like, is that right? He said, okay, you still got my phone? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to shoot you your phone back and 2 phones and $4,000. So we shook on it. We gave each other that. Everything was cool. Man, so I thought, man, 2 months goes by. Me and Cat, and let me tell you something. Drugs in the prison is a no-no. You don't supposed to do drugs in prison, let alone on the street. But in prison, it's really bad. Cash was a fly ass. Cash was 33 years old. And this is in 2014. This is in 2014, 2015. Because how I know that is the year my grandfather died. I was in Donovan. That's how I marked this era. I'm very precise when it comes to family members dying when I'm in prison. So this and Prop 47 came out and I got some time knocked out when I was at Donovan. That's how I know it was 2014, 2015. So Cash said it was cool. I shot him his 3 phones, his phone and them 2, and I shot him $4,000. And what Cash did, man, Cash went behind my back. Oh, I forgot to tell you about drugs. So Cash was fly, man, and I knew he liked to snort heroin. He used to put heroin in a little Visine bottle, put some water in it, and he used to snort it. But he wasn't no dope fiend dude where he was doing dope. He was about his money, and you would never tell Cash was on heroin. He was one of them fly player type, popping the collar type dudes. And me and him was opposites. You know what I mean? So we clicked. Everything. We could have conversation for hours. I just liked the little cat. And I did. I took his girl from him and I told him about it. I didn't go behind his back. Well, I kind of did, but I let him know face to face, you know, she's mine now, right? These nuts. Yeah. So look, this is what happened. So Clack goes and he tells the dude Muhammad, the one I sold the phone to for $1,000, his homie. He goes and gives him 2 grams of black um, to make up a story that I sold him a phone that broke, that it stopped working on him the second. Look, I done sold this cat the phone 4 months ago, bro. But Cash, I guess I don't know what exactly he told him, but this is the story after what happened with me and this cat Muhammad. This is the story that he gave my people. So one day, this is 2 months later after this happened. One day I get a package. I get a package in the morning time, and they open my door up. They send me a ducat saying I got a package in the R&R. That means a food package or a clothing package that I ordered online and I had sent in. I used to order my own packages because I had a phone and I had my girl had my card. So all I do is put the numbers in. I'd order my own shit every 3 months. I'd order my own package, whatever I wanted, right? So I ordered a package and it came. Just so happens when they pass out packages, you got to go to R&R, and they do it in the morning when the EOPs is out on the yard. Man, I should go get this write-up. I got the write-up to this whole story right here. It's a 115 I got. So I go out there to get my package, and it's a new white boy Crip on the yard from San Jose. This dude got 2 life. He got a LY. That's life without the possibility of parole, and he happens to be NC. And he just gets there 2 or 3 days before I get my package, and I know him. I'm not gonna say his name on it. He's a rider though. And his mom has something to do with CDC, like on the board, some shit. But that's why they sent him away to Donovan, so his mom wouldn't have no influence on him. Whatever, I don't know. I don't remember the whole story. But so check it out. So me and the white boy, we got a package. So we walking from my building up to R&R, and there's a line of people waiting to get their packages, and we on the yard. So I got a cane. I always take a cane out on the yard for a weapon if I need it, right? So Cash is sitting there. He got a package also. So I sit down with my cane with my back against the fence, and the white boy's standing next to me or in front of me, and we're talking. Me, Cash, and the white boy's talking. Yard recall. All EOPs, take it back to 1 and 2 building. So me and Cash are sitting there talking, and when they say that, Muhammad comes walking up really fast, and he's putting burners on his hands. Burners are gloves, weightlifting gloves. He's putting these leather burners on his hands. They're like yard gloves, right? And he walks over there, and he stands right to my right side. I got the cane like this. He stands right to my right side, and I'm talking to Cash. The white boy's in front of me, and I look up at Muhammad, and he looks at Cash, and I look back at Cash real fast, and Cash does this, and I turn around, and Muhammad, I can see the punch coming. So I roll with it, and he barely grazed me. By the time he grazed me, I look up, and I'm pushing myself up with the cane. The white boy Crip is on him. Bing! He gives him a 2-piece. Now they're swinging each other, but now I done got up. I ain't even paying attention to Cash. He's still sitting on his ass. I pushed the white boy away, and when I push him away, my cane comes out my hand. I didn't want my cane. I pushed my cane, the white boy with the cane, and I let the cane go. Now me and Muhammad, this ain't no bullshit. And I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm gonna get the 115 and post it on. I'm gonna post the 115 on here so you guys understand what I'm talking about. Me and Muhammad fought in front of R&R, not in front of R&R, in front of the program office. So when you go out of the yard, there's a program office where all the sergeants and lieutenants are, and then there's the medical, all the administration buildings right there. We fought, bro. We fought in front of the program office so hard and so long. I got shot with the block gun twice. He got shot with the block gun once. The police hit me 14 times with their little the little billy clubs, and broke 2 of my ribs on my right side. And I took 2 cans of mace, and he took 3 cans of mace on our bodies. When we was done, we didn't stop. When we was done, my left knee was so bloody because when we was down, they had to drag us. We couldn't even walk. They had to drag us to the showers to decontaminate us. And when we got in there, I couldn't see shit. He couldn't see shit. We're in 2 cages. I'm laying down in this little phone booth cage. I'm all crooked. He's laying down, and I could hardly breathe because of all this shit on us. And my ribs, every time I take a breath, I could feel it poking. The police, the lieutenant, and the sergeant came over there with the goon squad. And they're like, whatever that was about, and they're blaming me because I'm getting a fight with it. Okay. So EOPs, I told you they're mentally challenged. And for a GP inmate to fight an EOP, it's like it's looked down upon because they're looked at is they don't have all their senses. This cat had all his senses, so did Cash, but they was playing the system by acting like they was crazy. These 2 cats was not crazy. This cat was a Muslim, but he used to be a Skyline blood from San Diego. Skyline or Lincoln Park. I think he was from Lincoln Park. He was a Piru, but he was playing the Muslim role and he was in EOP. The cops was like talking shit to me and telling me whatever this was about. Man, we ain't never seen no one take that many hits and that much mace to stop. But I didn't stop because of the hits of the mace. I stopped because I was out. We was both exhausted. We fought. I don't even know. I want to say 3 minutes. It could have been less. It could have been more. But it seemed like an hour, man. To get hit twice with the block gun, boom, boom. And look, I had 2 ribs broke. And I have pictures of this in my email somewhere where you could just see my face. And there was a problem over this. The whole Crip car, every Crip on there wanted to take off on the Bay cast because the Cash had this shit done to me, right? I stopped that shit because I was pretty short coming home and I didn't want to get no riots or no one getting killed. But it went on for a while. And I had to heal in the cell for like 5-6 months before I could even come out the cell. I was jacked up. But that just goes to show you what happens when you play penitentiary games. I should have never did that. And I should have known he had animosity for it and he was going to pay this dude to do that. I hope you guys like this episode. Check this out. If you guys like these stories, this is a true story. I ain't putting no 10 on it. I'm taking some off of this story. I'm going to show you guys my write-up on my next thing, my 115. I'm going to show you the 115 about this fight and what the police say about it. I promise you the next story, episode 6, the thumbnail will be my 115 for this fight. I just ran into this 115 2 days ago. That's why I'm telling you this story, because it reminded me of this incident. And I got another banger about another broad a homie tried to take from me when I was in prison. But if you would like these stories, cash out me $1. My cash app's going across the bottom right there. $1. Just cash out me $1. And I want to say thanks. I want to say thanks to E from DC for cash apping that yesterday, and that other person. I can't think of your name. Martinez. He's no, his name is Abe. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the cash app yesterday, bro. So if you guys like these stories, cash out me $1. My cash app's right there. Josiah One Son is my cash app. $, capital JOSIH, the number 1 SON. That's my cash app. PayPal. Yeah, I got PayPal too. Hey, Yellow Mushroom, I'm gonna send you my number, man. I'm gonna send you my phone. I want to talk to you because you're from Sweden. I got a Sweden follower on here. I want to talk to you in person, bro. But yeah, if you guys haven't already pushed that like button, hit that subscription button, and definitely hit that notification button. Hit it now. Stay blessed and tell the people you love them. And I'll be back with another banger either tonight or tomorrow, episode 6. And remember, look at the 115 for this fight I had in Donovan. It's crazy. This fight was the craziest fight I ever had in prison. And I've been going to prison for 30-something years. But this fight right here, it was over abroad. That's what it boils down to. Stay safe and stay blessed out there.